Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you never miss out on the latest updates from around the world. Now, I have some big news today that could mean some extra money in your pocket. Yes, you heard it right, millions in the UK are set to receive £150 in the coming months, and we've got all the key details right here. Millions of people in the UK are set to receive an unexpected boost as the government recently announced that £150 will be sent out to eligible individuals in the coming months. This payment is part of the UK government's broader effort to tackle the rising cost of living, which has become a pressing issue for millions of households across the nation. As the cost of essential goods, energy bills, and housing costs continues to climb, many are feeling the pinch of inflation. The £150 payment will offer a temporary relief, allowing individuals and families to ease their financial burdens. The payment, which is expected to be received by many before the end of April 2025, will target specific groups within the population who are struggling the most. From pensioners to low-income families, students, and individuals with disabilities, the government is working hard to ensure that the financial support reaches those who need it the most. Importantly, the payment will be made automatically, with no application process required, so people don't need to worry about filling out forms or submitting personal details. As long as they meet the eligibility criteria, they will receive the £150 directly in their bank account. The payment aims to alleviate some of the stress individuals face when it comes to managing everyday expenses such as food, utilities, and transport, all of which have seen significant price hikes in recent months. For pensioners, particularly those on a fixed income, this payment could make a huge difference, helping them maintain a basic standard of living without having to sacrifice essential goods. For low-income families, who often live paycheck to paycheck, this extra £150 could be the difference between making ends meet and struggling to pay bills. Meanwhile, people with disabilities or those claiming benefits will receive a much-needed boost to help them with the additional costs they face in their daily lives. Although this payment might not solve the entire financial struggle for many, it provides some breathing room and a sense of relief. The government has made it clear that this is part of a larger plan to address the ongoing cost of living crisis in the UK, and the £150 is just the beginning. In fact, this payment is expected to be rolled out on a regular basis, with further assistance planned for later in 2025. The first wave of payments will arrive by the end of April, and subsequent payments are likely to be issued throughout the year. However, despite the automatic nature of the payment, it's important for people to stay vigilant and make sure that their personal information is up to date with the relevant authorities. For example, if there have been recent changes to someone's address or bank details, it's essential to update those details to avoid delays in receiving the payment. While the payment will be made automatically for most people, those who may have missed out on the previous year's payment could still be eligible for retroactive payments. It's crucial for people to check whether they're entitled to any backdated funds, particularly if they believe they should have received a payment earlier but didn't. In addition, those who may be self-employed or experiencing other unique circumstances should ensure that their details are accurate to avoid missing out. The government has also stated that the payment will be tax-free, so individuals won't have to worry about paying taxes on the £150 they receive. This makes the entire process much simpler, as it provides a direct cash boost with no additional paperwork or red tape. The aim here is to ensure that this financial aid reaches people in need as quickly and efficiently as possible. The payment is also designed to provide a temporary cushion for individuals who are facing the day-to-day strain of rising living costs. While it won't solve the long-term problem of inflation and high living expenses, it's a step in the right direction to ease some of the immediate challenges people face. The decision to issue these payments was made in response to growing public outcry about the financial pressures being placed on households, particularly those already struggling to make ends meet. For many people, the past few years have been financially challenging, with the ongoing impact of the pandemic, Brexit-related issues, and now rising energy costs. The £150 payment is just one part of a broader set of measures being introduced by the government to address these concerns. It's also worth noting that the government has indicated that this payment may be rolled out further, potentially covering a wider range of groups or increasing in amount over time, depending on how the economic situation evolves. This indicates that the government recognizes the importance of continued support for vulnerable groups, as the economic recovery remains uncertain and many people continue to face hardship. The UK's financial situation, compounded by the global economic downturn, has put immense strain on households. For those who are living paycheck to paycheck, any extra financial relief is incredibly welcome. The £150 payment, although not large enough to be a game changer for everyone, can make a real difference to those in need, helping them cover essential costs and avoid falling into further debt. It's a simple but effective way of providing relief to millions of individuals who may otherwise feel overlooked. Another important point is that the £150 payment is not a loan, it doesn't need to be repaid. This sets it apart from other financial assistance programs that may require repayment with interest down the line. The simplicity of this direct payment makes it an easy solution for both the government and recipients. As we approach the rollout of these payments, the hope is that they will provide some immediate relief for those who need it, while also signaling a larger commitment by the government to tackle the cost of living crisis. While these payments may not be the solution to all of the UK's financial challenges, they serve as a clear signal that the government is taking action to support its citizens during these uncertain times. The ongoing rise in living costs has placed an unbearable strain on many individuals, and it's crucial that the government continues to look for ways to alleviate these pressures. So, for everyone who is eligible for the £150 payment, it's a small but meaningful way to make life a little easier during challenging times. If you're wondering how this might affect your financial situation, or if you're eligible, it's important to keep an eye out for further government announcements, which will detail the exact payment schedule and eligibility requirements. In the meantime, it's a good idea to double-check your personal information with the relevant agencies, just to ensure that everything is up to date so you don't miss out on this potentially helpful payment. This measure could become a lifeline for those in need, particularly as we look ahead to the future when more financial aid might be necessary. The £150 payment is only a part of the wider response to the cost of living crisis, and with further support planned for later in 2025, it will be interesting to see how the government continues to evolve its strategy to support vulnerable populations across the UK. But for now, if you qualify, get ready to check your bank account soon, because this much-needed payment could be just around the corner.